Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. My name is Tim Hay and I believe in dragons. And I made something for you to explain something more about the dragon's eye. Yes, of course, I talked about it a lot, because this signature or something that we can use, this sign of the dragon's eye, is actually something so important and you can do so many things with it. It has so many meanings. And I just continue to talk about it because this is the ultimate thing that connects you, your guardian, and your God, to have the ultimate connection with each other. Like I said before, the dragon's eye is a triangle and it connects you, your dragon, and your guardian, of course, and the gods. And they are all together. Together you break all the five gates, and that is all what I already explained. But there is ultimately some things that you can do with it, and I said about it a lot, but there are also different meanings about it. Like you can sign it in here, and it has a different meaning, but there are also other lines that has a different meaning on the dragon's eye. By, for example, you connect with the dragon god, your guardian connects with the dragon god immediately through the ultimate energy of the dragon. You not immediately, but eventually you will get this line. But sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes your guardian doesn't have this connection with the gods. That means that, yeah, or maybe the other way around. They only have sometimes a connection because of you and not immediately. On the dragon's path, most of the time, your god and your guardian have a direct connection, but sometimes, in some cases, they don't. And then the line doesn't go here, but the line goes in here, outside. And that is only because of you. You are the reason why they are connected. But in most cases, in our cases, on the Dragon's Path cases, they are connected because they are all dragons and all connected with each other. And I also do something else with this dragon's eye because that was quite a story. Back in the day, I had a moment when I didn't feel my dragon anymore. I didn't feel my dragon. I was hysterical. I was sleeping bad. I didn't feel my dragon. And the thing is, when you don't feel your dragon, you start to lose interest in the dragon's path. I didn't think it was possible, but the thing is, when you lose your dragon's energy, your guardian and your god, if you don't feel your dragon's eye anymore, the thing is that you lose interest. You lose it, and I didn't even believe it was possible when I first met my dragon fully, to lose interest in something like that. And then I understood what other people thought about the dragon. I understood it because I was losing interest, because I never ever thought that I could never feel my dragon anymore. I it broke my heart. It was horrible. It broke my soul, actually. And I didn't want that. And then I forced myself. No, 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 you have to love it. But that doesn't work on the dragon's path. You don't force yourself. You cannot do this. So I never read anything about the dragon's eye in a book. It was me. It was me who discovered this. My dragon showed me back in the day a triangle where we were all connected with each other. And it was this triangle. It was this one. My dragon showed me where I was and where they were and where the God is and what we all aim for. The same goal, to be together, to reach for each other. Not for power, but to be there for each other. And so yeah, I knew about this. So what I also knew was about the Nox, and I also talked about this a lot. And it's actually this sign. It's like a stripe first, then you around a circle of it, and then the two horns by the side. It means that you connect with all of three dragons in one and the same realm, even though all the dragons are from a different realm, but you're all connected. So in fact, you are all in the same world. And it comes actually down to the same as the dragon's eye. It's for reaching for each other, for coming together as one. That is what the Cloverkiller Nog stands for. It's coming together as one on the dragon's path. But there is actually more. If you connect actually the dragon's eye and the Cloverkiller, the night key, actually what they say, it's actually a key to the astral plane where you can find each other, not on this place, not on their place, but on the place in between. And then that is where this night key is standing for. The dragon's eye, on the other hand, is to break the gates, to let the dragon come together in their place, in our place, or also in between. It doesn't make sense for the dragon's eye where you stand as long as you can reach for each other. Then here you live together. Here you are one. So I thought, why not connect them? If I don't feel my dragon, so I hope that this can do something with me. I hope that I can feel the dragon once more like I used to. I talk about many years ago. So I used this. I signed this. I made this, and I put this underneath my bed on a piece of paper. This sign, and actually I had weird visions that night. Weird, not that I wanted to see. It was actually very dark. And later on I discovered that this was in fact indeed the night key, but the dragon was not gone. The dragon was actually hiding. It was a test. It was to see what I'm going to do, what my feelings were, what my instincts told me to do so. And my instinct was, I don't want to lose my dragon. I don't want to lose this energy. I don't want to lose this magic. I don't want to lose this feeling. I just don't want to lose it. I just don't want to lose my life as a draconic energy. I just want to feel the dragon. I don't want to lose my guardian. That is what I always said, and it was very, very strong. So I did everything. So this is in fact the strongest way of dragon magic actually that you can do. It's actually a desperate way to combine two different ways to connect with the dragon. To combine them, actually, that is something that I won't do today. But like I said, I was desperate to use two very powerful signs like that to find the dragon again. And the dragon, that is the thing, my dragon tried to refuse this sign just to show me a lesson. The dragon can be very fierce and very difficult to understand. Why don't you come to me? I am suffering. Why don't you come to me? So the dragon came back after a while. The feeling was like a rebirth once more, and not then at the moment, but later on I discovered why the dragon did that, and it was actually a test. It was a very difficult one, I can tell you that. It was so difficult. I could not sleep anymore. And the thing is, the sign that I made here made it only more difficult to sleep, because it's a way to go into astral plane, to go in space between spaces, to go into dimensions where the dragon it should be, but at that moment the dragon was not there. The dragon was hiding from me. The dragon is always around you, but not in the places where you can find. And that is what my test was all about, to see what I was going to do, my emotions in my head. And the thing was that I did a lot of things like this, and I hoped that rituals and magic like this would help, but in fact it was not necessary. It was just a way to see what I was going to do, and I was desperate. And my dragon told me so, that my dragon actually knew a bit that this was going to happen. And but it was even the dragon can never be really sure. And even my dragon is like, they can call a chaos dragon, and a chaos dragon, they say here and now you have to learn. And my dragon just do something a lot to me. It was very confusing back in the day. So I made a lot of dragon's eyes back in the day, and Kilnox, the night key that stands above, lesser, because I knew this was more powerful, but connected. They are actually very, very powerful. If you do this together and your guardian is still with you, not to test you or anyway like mine did, but it opens doorways, both of them. So combined as well, not combined even more actually, but they have two different meanings. So it's better to use them apart from each other. This was just a desperate way. Uh, so, and actually, like I said, sometimes in some cases, and not most of the time, not in the dragon's path, but in witches who want to have a connection with the dragon, the sign of the dragon's eye doesn't go like that, but that goes outside of it. There are a lot of stories from witches who want to find the dragon, and that is the dragon's eye in their case. In our case, it's inside of us, inside of the eye, inside of the eye, to have ultimate power. But we are not looking for it, but eventually it will lead to ultimate power, to ultimate dragon energy. They will never have that. It will always go outside of it, with a different god that is not a dragon, or a different guardian that is not a dragon. Some dragons agree to be with them as a guide. Some dragons do that. Even though I say to the dragons as a draconic energy, they don't deserve it. But that is only me. Some dragons just accept that. Yeah, in the past I had so much difficulties to accept something like that, that a dragon would go to them even though they don't have a connection with them or are not born with them. So some people who are not born with a dragon can have a dragon. That is possible, but the dragon's eye of theirs will always be different, with lines outside of it and not inside, because the guardian, and the guards, of course, will always be connected on the outside, and the only reason for that is them. So yeah, I found this blue dragon. It was so cute. Um, represents the rebirth when you have an awakening on the dragon's path. I have this one on my altar, but in fact it represents rebirth. The one that is cracking open, yes, the one that it was sleeping inside of you. And sometimes a dragon's eye opens that. A dragon's eye is just a sign, but in fact it can be very real once it is opened, all the 5 gates. So yeah, I hope I can, I could show you something from the Kilnox and the Night Key and the Dragon's Eye a bit more. And yeah, if you don't feel the dragon like I did, don't panic. There is no need to panic. Sometimes the dragons test us. There are a lot of tests, also difficult tests. You will be confused, I'm sure. There will be tests that awaits you. That is the dragon's eye. That the dragon will always do that. Even for other witches who only have a dragon's eye there, the dragon will always test us. They will always do that. Even if they are some kind of sure what you're gonna do, they will want to see it. They want to see it, and they want to read it from your mind if the test succeeds. So yeah, my brothers and sisters, be blessed.